So, this kind of sucks to say, but I was really disappointed, like more than I think I should have been by something that happened recently. I have been talking for a few days now about this visual prototype that I'm working on that I'm trying to get good. I've never made a visual prototype before. I've never been like an artist. So it seems understandable that there would be struggle and like iterating, learning as I go. And there has been, and I want to talk about what I've learned, but I also just want to express that I'm like really bummed out right now. So let's talk about what happened. I made a video for YouTube for my main channel, which I haven't posted on in a very long time. I do stream on it when I'm streaming to Twitch, so it's active still, but I haven't posted anything in a long time. And I made a video that was like almost 30 seconds long that was capturing my environment, and it featured the really cute new sheep that I added with their animations, all like showcasing all the animations they do and giving you a visual idea of the environment, and playing some music in the background that a friend of the stream made for the game that like I think is pretty in line with the vibes. And so like overall I thought this was a great video. I honestly, my hopes were very high, like higher than they should have been, but the way I was let down was like, I mean, it's like worse than average for me. So like the response was pretty poor. Like no one was saying mean things in the comments or, you know, thumbs downing it. It was like, it was just not getting views. Like YouTube was not pushing it too much either. I think I have 80 impressions, which is not a lot by YouTube standards, but also like for 18 impressions, only getting 15 views, and that includes like, I think probably 10 of those were people that knew me, that like were watching it because I made it and because I shared it in my Discord and stuff. I shared it on my Blue Sky even. I think I actually got more or about the same number of likes on Blue Sky as I got views for that video total. So like overall, it's just like really poor performance. But I learned some things, so I wanted to talk about what I learned and what I will do better, what I will do differently. If you're curious about the video, I think I called it Sneak Peek Sheep Updates on my main channel, I Heart Funny Boys. I will link it up there. Okay, so the video is for a thumbnail. I just used a screenshot from the video itself because the video is like 30 seconds, but I thought it was just like a few beautiful shots. So first thing I would say is don't like make a custom thumbnail, even if it's just a screenshot from the video, but maybe you zoomed in a little bit more, maybe some text, maybe like an extra filter or something that just makes it a little more standing out. Because like the scenery in the video is very, I would say, well blended. So I think at a glance it doesn't stand out that much. There's no pop. It's like comfort. It's not like, whoa, attention grabbing. And there's no text on the video thumbnail, so I kind of lost the opportunity for a second title that would have maybe like been more attention grabbing. So that's too bad. Another thing, I posted on Blue Sky with this video link to share it, but earlier in the day, like 2 or 3 hours earlier, I posted a video to Blue Sky proper where it wasn't like a link to a YouTube video, it was just an embedded video of the same animations, but in the Godot editor, in like their independent scene for the sheep. So like, and that one even had an extra animation that you don't see in this longer video that was like a silly one. And so even after I posted the new one, I was getting likes on the old one and not the new one. So like that was still getting shared and still like at the top of people's feeds. And so then I think my newer one wasn't. So another lesson there is probably space it out. If I'm gonna like put the effort into making a nice video, post it on a day that I'm not posting other things. And like be mindful about the time of day I'm posting it to. I'm still doing some experiments to figure out when the best time of day is to post these things. But I think the later in the evening European Standard Time, or European times, is better because as like an English speaker, I'm connecting more than with the Americans, which is like North Americans is like the majority of English speaking population, I think, don't quote me on that, but like at least the Americans are awake too, so there's more overlap with English speaking countries being awake. I think in general it's thought that like 7 p.m. or even a little later in Europe is the best time. And when I say Europe, I mean Sweden, I mean CET. I'm just saying Europe, shorthand. I know that there's more than one time zone in Europe. Anyway, so that was a lesson learned. Timing, don't crowd your posting space. Also, so like I did a standard view, like a wide landscape layout shot, not like designed for a phone. And it was such a short video to be in the long video section of YouTube that I think that really hurt it too. Because like from what I saw, the watch time on the video was over 100%. But it was still like YouTube was like, oh, it's only been watched for 47 seconds on average, so that's low. But it's not low in a percentage perspective. But if I had made the video instead as a short for how much content I had, I think that it would have done better. But I would have wanted to frame it differently. I also noticed watching the video back myself, with it being landscape, watching it on my cell phone, and with how much I was trying to get the full environment and like a broader scope in the video, it meant that like the actual details that I wanted to show, the sheep doing their different animations, was totally invisible. It was just like some white stuff on the screen amongst like this landscape that looked kind of generic. I think the angle of it too made it look generic. So yeah, like I think proportion, like make it for your phone, make it for shorts if you're gonna make it short. And I would say even if you're gonna make it long, try and make sure that like the focal points for at least part of the video, like the start of the video, is close enough that it is visible when it's on your phone but in landscape mode. But in general, I think for my next video about my game, I'm going to make sure that I'm zooming in a lot more and that I have more content to show so that I can create more of a lengthy video without it being just like more of the same. Because I could have made it like 3 times as long, but then it would have just been like them hanging out and doing their thing for longer, and that's kind of boring. I wanted them to be, you know, kind of snappy and like, here it is doing this, here it is doing that, here it is doing this. Okay, thank you, goodbye. Also, another thing, so just in general, this doesn't, I don't think, impact the view count or anything, but for this video, it was the sheep in 3 different shots doing different animations, so walking around, grazing, and sleeping. And the sheep are background characters in my game that don't do anything. And I felt like, you know, I'm trying to promote my game and get people excited about it. Yes, it's a visual prototype, so like even the background should be its standalone and interesting video. But in general, I think it would be good if I'm making sure that videos that I post about this have like the main character, the playable character, in at least one shot, interacting with whatever is going on in the decorative scene, even if it's just like, you you see from her perspective on the hill looking out at it could have been interesting, and that I could have done that. I could have included a shot like that. But when I think about the sheep specifically, I do want to make it so she like walks by and they follow, because I think that would be really cute if they follow her along the fence. And I would love to add in like a petting interaction where she can like reach across the fence and pet the sheep. And to do that, she kind of like, I need to make those animations first. I need to do some work on the character because she doesn't look how I want her to look for the visual prototype. So like really those kind of things need to wait until like I have more content. But yeah, I think it should stand on its own. I also think, like, thinking back on the environment and looking at it through the lens of not, I'm so excited that I made this, but I'm a random gamer who happens to come across this while I'm, like, scrolling YouTube. I think the environment lacked in a few ways. So, a few things stood out to me when I was looking through this lens. The color contrast. Like, I wanted it peaceful, so I was doing it very, like, similar colors and comfortable. But the lack of pop, I think, made it kind of boring. Also, the water doesn't have a shader. It's just reflective and like slightly blue, and it's so reflective that it's like really light blue. And I think I need to do something to create more of like a ripple-y texture of foam on it, because I think it doesn't look like interesting. It looks really boring the way it is. Also, I know, like, for the horizon line between the water and the sky, it's too clean of a line, and I think I need to experiment. How do I create more of a blur, maybe through like fog or something, so that it doesn't look so clean, basically, because it looks unrealistic. It looks like you're in a video game, like a bad one. And then also the sky, I think, could look a little interesting. I have a lot of shots. The 3 shots that I have, they all show the sky. And one of them is during the day, and then 2 are at almost the exact same time of evening. And I didn't add in yet the variance of how the sky looks later in the day. It does get darker in the environment, and that makes the sky look a little darker, but I don't have like the clouds getting darker. I don't have the stars coming out. I would love to have like a golden hour where it looks kind of red. I think that would be interesting, like an orange sunset kind of thing. So I think because the sky is going to be so visible in like basically every shot in the game, until I get that set up and looking nice, I should wait and hold off on posting any more videos, or at least lower my expectations if I'm gonna do it, because I think having a beautiful sky, having a more blurred and realistic looking horizon line, and having interesting water, when those take up so much of the visual space, is kind of important. What else? Yeah, like, I guess get my character looking good so I can include her and make more animations of her with the sheep would be great. And then also just like getting more shots of like the other parts of the environment. I think just getting more going on at the same time so there's more visual interest points. You know, like when you think of a Picasso, I'm not calling myself Picasso. I'm just saying, when you think of a Picasso painting, there's a lot going on. It's like, it's not just one focal point and you're just like, okay, that's nice. Like, you should be able to, like, when you're looking at a screenshot at any point in a video game, and it's a world and it's expansive, it's not like some simple little cartoon thing, but it feels like a world. You would expect that the longer you look at it, the more you see. And with my game right now, with the video that I posted, I don't believe that's the case. I think you see all that you're gonna see with like 2 glances and then you're done. And that's like not enjoyable. That doesn't encourage people to rewatch it to see what they missed, because there's just so much detail. Like, that's what I need. if I'm gonna do it, I should do it as a short so people will rewatch the short and then the short will get shared more, right? But yeah, just like creating a lot of points of interest in one shot, I think is really good, and paying attention to how am I aiming my camera. I will also say, when I was making the video that did get more attention, where it was just the animations, I was very mindful at the start of the video, like before I started recording it, how the camera was angled specifically so that the animations had the most impact when they were run. And then I just recorded it, and then I ran all the animations in sequence, and then I cut together so you just saw a little bit of each one. But one of them, the funny one, the sheep kind of does a dramatic stare at the camera thing. It's really funny. You should watch that one too. That one's on Blue Sky, so I can't really link it, but you can check out my Blue Sky, and I'll link that in the description so you can see it there. But yeah, it stares down the camera, and then it does a funny dramatic pose, and making sure the camera was lined up so it would stare down the camera and get that effect was very important. And I didn't do the same for this landscape one. I could have, I was running the game, but I could have paused it while I was recording and lined up the shots that I wanted to record, and then push play only after I got the perfect shot angled, and then just cropped out those portions in the full video. I forgot to mention this earlier when I mentioned the different sky. I think having it at different, it was one time of day and then 2 in the next time of day, and I think the 2 in the next part of the day should have been varied a bit more. It was sheep grazing and then sheep sleeping, and when sheep sleep, they sleep for half the day. So I could have waited till it got really dark and maybe angled it to show the lights in the city down below or something, a totally different angle. I could have done that. I didn't do it. I could have done it. And just in that way, the dramatic difference in what you're showing would be really interesting, what I'm showing. I have basically 4 right now visual interest points in my scene, aside from the sheep, from the perspective of the sheep. You can look at the mountain cliff and that it drops off into the ocean. You can look at the island in the distance. You can look at the city in the other corner with the sailboats. I think the sailboats would also be visible from the island, so I'm not counting those separate. And then there's a forest, and I only got shots with the angle showing the cliff and the ocean. I could have done a different angle for every single shot and had hugely different visuals. So that was also a miss, I think. It's hard because I want to just throw a pity party and feel bad for myself. I wanted more people to like this video. I felt really good about it. I was really proud to show off what I was showing off, and I felt scared to share it on YouTube because I've been quiet on there for so long, and I haven't mentioned this project yet. I haven't mentioned that I canceled my last project yet. I've been waiting to put that video out, and I'm not sure when I'm going to do it yet. But when I really after I felt bad for myself, I stopped and I analyzed the video, and I thought about how would this look to someone that doesn't care about me, who's just seeing it. And the answer is they probably wouldn't care about this. If anything, it looks like baseline what you'd expect a game to look like, but more boring because I didn't have variety in it. I didn't have the points of interest close enough to the center, to the camera, to be visible, especially on mobile. I think the sound was great, but I do also think that I'm failing in the aspect that I've never really played with having different sounds play at different points in the video, unless it was a momentary sound effect, like a or something. I've never had emotional music that plays in my videos to be okay, well, we're gonna quiet down the music and then we're gonna do this suspenseful build-up part to talk about this dramatic part in the video or something. I never do that. it's always just one song that plays through the whole thing, like it's probably playing in this video right now. And I need to practice not doing that. It's not something I want to do for this series or this channel, because the whole point is that I'm doing low effort. But maybe I'll play with it a little bit just to see like how it goes when I have time. But overall, don't expect more audio editing in these videos. That's not the point. But yeah, it's interesting to think like how it could have been better if I had had the foresight of these things. And in hindsight, I'm still glad I'm figuring it out, because it means my next video is gonna be better now and hopefully more well received. As I said in a previous video on this channel, being able to make a good, compelling YouTube video is a requirement to be able to make a good and compelling video game. And a lot of the same principles in video games, like sound design, camera work, variety in content, that matters in videos too. And I really, for a 30-second video, you could say it didn't matter. But for what I wanted out of that 30-second video, even if I didn't realize it till after I pushed publish, I could have done better. So that's my takeaway. I'm gonna keep working on this. I'm gonna keep working on my game, of course, and hopefully get some of those features in that I feel like are needed to really make the best videos possible. But then also just be more mindful when I'm making shots and add in a little more editing work and some audio stuff. So yeah, with that said, I will leave it there and I'll talk to you later. Bye.